friends, I am Rob, the Dungeon Tutor. No, I'm not some fantasy warrior. It's just me, Rob. But today, I am answering a question for RPGaDay, and today is the 28th day, which is the 28th of August. And the question is not a question, but it's a suggestion. And that is to go around and tag people with a cover, with the cover art that I'm most fond of for an RPG. And I'm not going to do that. I don't go rando tagging my friends. I find that to be rather annoying and in poor taste when that happens. So I'm instead going to tell you, my friends, who are watching my videos. Because well, hopefully that's what you're here for, right? Right? Okay. So, I did mention this one before, but, and I might even see if I can find a link to post the picture into the video itself, but if that fails, this is the best character or cover art that I've ever myself found, that no other one has ever sucked me into a game just by the art on the cover like this one did. And this is the first edition of Shadowrun. Now, Shadowrun, you may have feelings about Shadowrun in general, but this cover art was amazing. You have the city background, which is cool, but it's not about the city, is it? It's not. It's just in the background to set everything up. Instead, you have an elf who is got these spikes, and he's about to go into this computer terminal here. So it's your first hint at somebody who's about to be decking, even though he doesn't have a cyber deck. And that's actually explained in the opening story. But it's an interesting looking character, certainly. And even though you eventually find out those spikes aren't really as... they're not quite as tough looking as they kind of look a little bit. He's not Wolverine by any stretch. And then next you have the gal, Sally. She has the trench coat on, and she looks kind of cool. She has a shotgun in one hand and a spell getting ready in the other, which is pretty cool. So this showing, again, that you have the high technology here mixed with this world of magic. And yeah, he is an elf too. And then you have the street samurai with the twin Uzi submachine guns, and he's shooting at this car with these menacing types, which we eventually find out are corporate security. And that seems to fit the cyberpunk aesthetic. You are fighting against the authority that has all the money, and you are generally paid to work against these types. So this is in setting with a lot of the kind of runs that you will actually play in Shadowrun, which I like. It's pretty evocative. And the only thing, I probably would have had one of them to be a bit more chromed, showing more cyberware, which you really don't see here. Nor do you see any dwarfs or orcs or trolls, so some of those are a bit more iconic. These are about as human-looking as you get for Shadowrunners, and is poorly augmented with cyber technology. But it does hit the 3 levels of the game. You have the Matrix-y side, you have the magic-y side, and then you have the hard-cold reality of street combat. And just by this sold me. I saw this on a shelf in a game store, and I was looking for something new, and this sucked me right in, and I bought it. And now I have quite a few Shadowrun games throughout the various editions. It's an excellent world and a pretty decent system, no matter how much criticism it gets. But I always do keep coming back to Shadowrun with an intent to run it, even if I've only run it kind of scattershot. I have run a decent length campaign. I've played in a few campaigns. And that's another thing too. I think I may have played Shadowrun more than I've actually run it. That's a rarity for me. I think it's about the only game that I can claim that for. Maybe Star Wars I can claim that for too, but this one is definitely one that I've played more than I've run. And I really love the world. and I find that the cover and much of the art inside is excellent for putting you into the world of 2050, which is coming up, which is scary. Still don't have cyber limbs and cyber eyes yet, but I'm hoping. But yeah, it's really cool. Really neat ideas. Not all of them worked. They missed on a few things, like they couldn't have imagined that technology was going to advance as fast as some things have. Our smartphones are more powerful than some of their computers, but it's still a wonderful game, and I really love the art. I thought they did an excellent job. Back when this was run by FASA, they did an excellent job creating this world with the art and the imagery, and the team just built the world out from beyond that. So, excellently done. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to my friends at GUI Cube. If we're going to talk about art, it may not be the cover art that catches my attention with GUI Cube as much, but all the art that they include with their packages is amazing. As far as having portraits of all the major NPCs, including, if you get the right adventure, me. Not this me, the other me. You've seen me. But they appreciate how much art means to a game, and they work very hard at putting out excellent art. So I do, on this topic, have to give them a shout out. So if you're interested in any of that, go check out GUICube.com. Excellent stuff. You will not be sorry. And hear the ramblings of Alphinius Goo, and he is just such a delight and such a great guy. I really always will root for them, and fair disclosure, I have written for them, and they've published some of my work, so I do favor the GUI Cube a lot, and my stuff looks much better because they've had a hand in it. So, thank you very much for joining me. I am Rob the Dungeon Tutor, or Omnisci, and until next time, thank you, and farewell.